We're doing a quick little daily live before I get ready to go to work. Because, as many of you know, I work. All right, this is day old hair. I'm just giving it a little refresh. If you are wondering how I keep my hair nice for 3 days, I'd say I keep my hair nice for like 2 days. I use my Lunarlocks pillowcase that I created. And then, because I have a small head, so I need to have as much volume as possible. So how I sleep at night is basically with a pineapple pony, and it keeps everything voluminous. So that way, when you get out of the shower, also wear a shower cap. See? Volume. Love it. My Mason Pearson. You don't have to get the Mason Pearson. There are many other brands that carry a boar bristle and the plastic bristle brush, so you don't have to spend $1 million, okay? It's because it's my industry. It was important for me to have the best, right? What are we gonna chat about today? I'm gonna use my RMS. I use 22 for my whole face. And I do have the Supergoop sunscreen on. I did retinol last night, so, and I didn't go on my walk today. Oh, so I'm gonna have to go on my walk later. I don't know, but the eclipse energy has definitely, I'm tired. I don't care. I feel like my patience is thin. And people are weird. People are weird every day, but throw in a full moon, eclipses. I'm like, really? Okay. And I work with the public, so just hitting this. There you go, around the nose. I did take my bee pollen today because I feel like whenever I'm not feeling my best, B vitamins change my mood. Takes about an hour, but once those B vitamins hit my bloodstream, we are plants. We need adequate sunlight, the right amount of watering, a little bit of exercise, and we are much happier for it. So I know, and it's like every depressed person I know, and I've known a lot of depressed people, I'm like, well, stop smoking cigarettes and stop playing video games all night and stop like eating candy. Duh. You don't need a pill. You need a lifestyle change. And people don't want to change their lifestyle. I get it. I'm very, very thankful that no matter what crazy stuff I've been through in my life, I've come out with minimal addictions compared to people I know and people in my family. I'm like, holy shit, I escaped alive, right? So that's my rant on me feeling a little bit blasé since the eclipses started. Let's just normalize patting makeup into our eyes. This is delicate skin. We don't want to be yanking. And I have to go and I have to re-up my collagen because I ran out of my collagen. And I'm not doing the collagen chews anymore because I feel like I've escaped cavities thus far in life. Knock on wood. But I want to continue to escape cavities. I don't want to get them. And I feel like the collagen chews are not great for your teeth. So I switched to the collagen like liquid. I'm always looking out for hot dudes. Hot dudes outside my window. So yeah, I have to go re-up my collagen. Aging is a funny thing though. Aging happens, you're good, you're good, you're good. You wake up one morning and you're like, whoa, I look different. But here's the thing. I just can't see myself getting plastic surgery ever, because I haven't thus far, and I've definitely had the opportunity to. And I guess for me, what scares me is there's too much of it's too much of an unknown. I don't trust some random woman with a Botox injector. Like, what if she secretly hates me? What if she secretly wants to, like, I had an agent when I was an actor. She had the hots for my boyfriend, and she didn't end up getting fired for this. Not just me, but she would take our audition tapes and then just put it in her desk and never send them out. And she had a huge crush on my boyfriend at the time. And that bitch basically sabotaged my career. You know what I mean? So imagine a man or woman doctor. Like, let's say the man was broken up with by a woman who looked like me or something, and then he wants to get his revenge and he can't do it on her. So why not do it on me? I've had situations like that. We could talk about the time that my roommate's good friend tried to fucking kidnap me because his girlfriend broke up with him that day, and he ended up getting into a high-speed chase with the cops and wrapped his car around a telephone pole. But he was trying to get me to drive him to the middle of nowhere, and he literally had his pit bull with him, and he laid down a gun on our dining room table. We had this like round glass dining room table. And I looked at him and I was like, I'm not driving you anywhere. And he left. But imagine if I was dumb enough to be like, oh, okay. Like, I was like, if you're going to pull that gun out on me, you better fucking pull the trigger, because I'm not getting in the goddamn car and I'm not driving you anywhere. So as a beautiful woman, clearly I'm not an ogre, but as a woman on my own, you have to be so protective of yourself, ladies. You cannot be naive. That's why I also never got my eyebrows done, because what if they're just learning and then she fucks up my eyebrows and it's literally on my face? No, thank you. So yeah, whoever I end up with, which at this point I'm very, very happy to end up with no one, I am not ever going to fight the aging process. I will be getting wrinkles. I have gray hair. I will not fight it. It's an act of futility. Like, there's no way to escape the aging. Just do it gracefully. You know? But yes, every day I wake up and I'm like, ooh, hello, age. But yeah, and I live in such a superficial area. But honestly, I find my personality of aging naturally refreshing. And hopefully it will, lead by example. I always tell people, don't even say anything. Like, just lead your life authentically and people will follow. Then they're going to lead their life authentically. I've definitely always marched to the beat of my own drum. And it is definitely not an easy road. You know what I mean? You have to be super strong. And everyone, this is the biggest misconception in life, is let's say you think about Marilyn Monroe. She was gorgeous. She was loved by so many people. She was also despised by so many people. There was literally a woman, she went to see a house and she was like, I don't want people like you standing on my property. What? To be a leader, to be different, to shine a little bit brighter, you think that you're going to get rewarded for it. In fact, quite the opposite. You're most likely going to get crucified for it. It's the people who fall in line with the crowd that get the most rewards while they're alive. And then when the true stars die, then everyone's like, oh my God, they were so wonderful. When I think about Marilyn, I remember being little and being like, why didn't she ever marry like a really handsome guy? Joe DiMaggio and Arthur Miller. First of all, Arthur Miller was like, yeah, he was not a cute dude. And Joe DiMaggio either. And I just always was like, why did she have to settle for the ugly guys? Like she deserved a Paul Newman. I don't understand why Marilyn didn't get Paul Newman. She got shitty ass Arthur Miller, who put in his diary that he thought that she was an idiot. In my world, Marilyn got Paul Newman. Definitely not JFK, because he was a philanderer and nobody wants that fucking energy in their lives. But Paul Newman, good guy. Maybe they weren't the same age, but you know what I mean. So I don't know. I just feel like the more authentic you are in this life, the more ostracized you are, unfortunately. But then when you die, people think you had such an easy, amazing life, but in fact, it was hell on earth. Right? It was not fun. It's lonely at the top. It's hard to find people you could trust. And usually your own family members are just the worst. When I look at Khloe Kardashian and Kris Jenner and how Kris Jenner is taking Tristan's side, or when I hear Malika say, keep your family together, are you kidding? Are you, what? Speechless. Khloe has done nothing but try to keep her family together when it came to Lamar, when it came to Tristan. Like, are you really for real saying that to her? That, I don't think I would talk to Kris Jenner ever again if she was my mom. I get why. I don't like Kourtney, but I get why she is the way she is. For me, I don't have a daughter, but I just couldn't imagine myself siding with a man who cheated on my daughter and then getting him like ESPN deals. I just couldn't. And in terms of Scott Disick, I did hear, or I saw online, so this is very much allegedly, but I could see this happening, that the Kardashians are trying to pay Scott off to not have as much of a relationship with his own children. And I think that that's a horrible idea. Because at the end of the day, even though Scott is, a complicated character, his whole family died. He only had his parents and they died within months of each other. And then you want to take his whole step family away and then his kids? Kourtney must hate him so much. She must harbor so much resentment towards him, if that is really true, and she wants him to not be in the kids' lives. I just don't think that that's a good idea. I also don't like Travis Barker. He just gives me the creeps. He used to be cute, but I don't think that they're gonna last. I know, I really don't. Not to be shady to Court or anything, because she definitely deserves to be happy. He gives me love bomber vibes. Right? Not my vibe. Time will tell. Can we talk about Sutton Strachey and how much she gets in alimony every month? Upwards of $300,000 a month. A month. This is what I'm like saying, that this is like wasted on, like, she's sucking up to Kathy Hilton. Girl, if I had $300,000 coming to me a month, you would not ever see my face or hear from me ever again. Nobody would. I would be canning applesauce on my 30 acres and rescuing animals. You would not ever see or hear from me ever again. So I just like, yeah, $300,000 a month. When that check hits, oh, it's got to feel good. It's got to feel fucking amazing. Right? I would just be ecstatic. I would have just so much fun. I feel like the more money I have, the more I want to live a simpler life. And it's crazy because I've observed my behavior. I'm very like scientific about my life. So it's always like, I'm always testing a hypothesis of mine. When I lived with roommates, I saved so much money in rent, but I was so miserable because I really just didn't like living with other people. And I have to say I was right. I am a delight to live with. My home is beautiful, clean, and so peaceful. So my theory was right. It's them, not me. And I would end up spending a lot of money on clothes. Like the amount of money I would save in rent, like if I were to just be in my own one bedroom, I would spend that money that I saved on like self-medicating. So I just take all my money and I have like my beautiful little home and my 7-year-old car that I fucking love and I take such good care of, and my clothes from the Goodwill. I do my own nails. I do my own hair. Not my haircuts. I get my hair cut, but I do my own hair color. Like, I just love a peaceful life. But when I am not when I'm not on my right path, that's when I'm starting to buy stuff, right? The last 3 years, I would say the last year, I have barely bought anything unless it was a necessity. I just don't feel the need to buy anything. So I've been selling a lot of stuff on Poshmark. I'm going to try to link my Poshmark in my my bio. So if you want to shop my closet, you can. But yeah, I have like a super just simple, clean, like a lot of that stuff is secondhand that I've had for years. I was like really thinking about it and I was like, wow, I am really proud of myself, because the way I was raised and the influences that were pushed on me as a child, I should have had an eating disorder. I should have had a drug problem. I should have had, been in and out of difficult situations. That was what was pushed on me as a child. So if anybody ever watches this and you are in a really toxic home and you're starting to spiral, whether it be drinking or drugs or, sex or whatever, that's not you. That's the situation that you were in. And I knew at a very young age, I was like, this is not me. This is how I'm reacting to the situation that I'm in. Thank God. And I really genuinely thank God every day that I was able to get myself out of there. And then also I was able to heal myself. Now I do pray to God for peace every single day. And that's why he keeps me single. I say that all the time. Because you get what you pray for. I don't pray for strength. No. I pray for ease, okay? So be careful what people say when they pray for you. I'm like, leave my fucking name out of your mouth. I got it covered. Don't worry. But yeah, I just like, if you are struggling or if you're going through a really dark or difficult time, and you could even be stuck in those patterns. Like I was definitely stuck in really unhealthy patterns for a while after I left home. I left home at 15, and I would definitely say I was stuck in negative patterns. And I'm sure even 10 years from now, I'll look back and say, whoa, I've grown even from them. But there were like a few years where I felt like agoraphobic, and I didn't even really leave my apartment when I think I was like 18, 19. I had like this really bad agoraphobia. And that I only had been out of those really, really bad situations for maybe 3 or 4 years at that point. So it was just like you're in survival mode when you are in those horrible situations. And then when you get out, that's usually when stuff really starts to go wrong. And you could get into like eating disorders, you could get into self-harm, you could get into all of that stuff. And it's almost like, be okay with going through those things, because life is like elastic. Just because we stretch doesn't mean we can't snap back. Just because we press into the ball doesn't mean we can't spring back to ourselves. You know what I mean? So have grace with yourself wherever you are in the healing journey. My healing journey has been super, super messy. And even though eating disorders didn't stick with me, there was a lot of like coping with food and unhealthiness when I was living with my family. But I was like, this isn't me. This is just me reacting. And as a 39-year-old woman being away from those people for a really long time, I could definitely say, it wasn't me. It wasn't. So it's not you either. But be very, very graceful with yourself, because what abusers want to do to you is they want to damage you so badly that you feel like you could never come out of it. And then outside people will hear your story and want to know, well, why are you normal? Like, it's like, who do you think you are to be normal? If you've gone through X, Y, and Z, you should be a drug addict. You should be homeless. You should be this. You should be that. Right? So be very careful with who you even share your story with, because people don't really want to see other people escape from poverty. They don't. I don't know the psychology behind it. I'm sure there's some fucking weird thing. But just be graceful with yourself. You might have bulimia for 10 years, but then not have it for 50 years. You might have cutting things going on for 2 years and then never do it again. Just be very, very graceful with wherever you are, because it's the guilt. It's the guilt that keeps you in that cycle of destruction. Oh my God, I self-harmed, or oh my God, like I got a really big, ugly tattoo on my back when I was 15. And it really had a lot to do with me being physically and sexually abused as a child. And you start to want to like deface your body. That's why whenever I hear about like my 600-pound life, I'm like, were they sexually abused? And people are always like, yeah. And I was like, yeah, obviously their body is like literally padding itself from the trauma and also trying to make itself unattractive. So be very, very kind to yourself if you are going through these coping mechanisms. When you get out of the traumatic situation, you're going to see your coping mechanisms spike. And then you just have to find a way to give yourself grace, but then also heal. Find a good therapist. Not all of them are good. A lot of them are not good. Go to sound healing, walk, go to an ashram in India. Like I always say to people, go be quiet for 3 years. Don't talk. Just go be fucking quiet and see what comes up. The last 3 years, almost 4 years now, it'll be 4 years in March, I've been alone. I moved to a place where I didn't know a single person. I started a business from scratch. I've confronted every single one of my fears completely alone. And if it hasn't, whoo, I don't take shit from anyone now. I don't care who you are. I didn't take shit from people before, but now what I learned about myself and who I am so proud of myself. I'm not perfect because I am human, but whoa, so proud. And I only want people in my life who think I'm a fucking delight. So yeah, and it's, believe me, I have tons of haters, so many in my own family. So many love to watch here. When they had the thumbs down button, they would thumbs down. I mean, it just I'm embarrassed for you guys. You know, I'm embarrassed for you. Not embarrassed for me. It doesn't reflect on me at all. I'm just out here being my authentic self, trying to make a life for myself. But you're sitting at home lurking. That's got to feel embarrassing for you. You know, the lurkers. But, well, that's my get ready with me. Thank you guys for hanging out. I used a variety of RMS. Bloop. Let's see, what is this? Fit Glow Beauty was what I used on my eyebrows. And this is discontinued, but this is RMS's bronzer. And of course, I like broke the thing, the top. My Tarte. I just get this palette over and over again. And I really only use like these colors, but these are gorgeous as well. Maybe I should start using them too. They're like nighttime colors and I'm like a daytime person. So, but anyway, I love you guys. Thanks for tuning in. We'll chat tomorrow and have a great day and happy Halloween. Be safe out there.